What's up, guys? Welcome to Podcast 412, Fight for Purity. A bold way of looking at challenges that young people are facing. We'll talk about the naked truth of life and how to handle the problems you're thinking but not talking about. So strap in, get ready for another great podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. So this episode, we're going to be talking about mothers. We recapped on fathers last time. And before we do get into that, because that's going to be fun. So a fun fact for today is that blood flow in women is more concentrated around the lower extremities, like abdomen and everything, right? Yeah. And while in men, it's more spread evenly. And this is why we tend to, as women, have colder hands and feet, because we need to keep our organs warm.
All our blood's down here, right? Not up here. Keep the womb warm.
We gotta keep the womb warm. It's an incubator. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, guys, their temperatures, one's hot, the other one's cold, or when you're cold, they're hot, whatever. Yeah, so it's always that way. So we're going to start with the definition I found. I don't even, vocabulary.com, I think. So we wanted to define a mother, just in case you didn't know for some reason what a mother was. So we have an example before us today. Well, a few examples actually. But a mother, okay, this is really crucial, is a female parent. Okay, mothers nurture and mother children. It is also a term for a elderly woman or mother superior. So it says your mother, okay, you guys, this is so controversial. Okay, I don't know, it's so controversial in our society. Your mother is the woman who gave birth to you. Okay? I know that's a deep thought, but she gave birth to you, okay? So she had you, in her belly for 9 months, for most of us, and she gave birth to you. So it's a female parent, okay? So I just wanted to, okay? And some people say, well, not some people, I guess. The ones that didn't give birth to you would be your stepmothers, adoptive mothers, but the mother's the one that actually gave birth to you, okay? So it's a woman who has given birth to a child, okay? So let me see what else. It also means to care like a mother, to protect. I was going to say overprotect, but it also, the verb is to make children. So only a female can give birth, and only a female can make children. Okay? Let me see. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. The rest of it goes into like other things that are called mothers. And we're going to talk about our moms, or maybe the influence, good or bad, of the moms that we had. So I know Sarah's in a little bit is going to read us a few mother facts. Mother facts.
Mother facts.
That sounds terrible. Mom facts. But I know for me personally, my mom raised me, so I had a single mom in my life. So, but hopefully as we get into the conversations, we can all share a little bit about like the influence. So my mom was a big influence in my life because I didn't have a dad. So my mom played the role of a mom. Some people say that mothers have to play the role of the dad, but I don't know that you can necessarily actually do that. Yeah. You can try.
But
I
guess
there's no succeeding.
It'd be like more like an authority way.
Yeah.
You have to be more authoritative than you would be.
Yeah, because
she's
your only authority. Like in my eyes, that's all I've known. It's just us, my mom. That's just a single mom. So, but yeah. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that on the kind of influence the mother has. And remember, we're still talking about that Storge love, which is that familial love. And this was facing the wrong way, so I'll fix it. but yeah. So, but why don't you go ahead and share some facts?
Some mom facts.
Some mom facts.
Mom facts.
And then you guys can chime in.
So it says for first time moms, average age is 25, which is about right for me. I was around 25 when I became a mother. And then modern moms, we have around 2 kids. We average 2 kids. What was crazy though is in the 1950s, the average was 3.5 kids. And then in the 1700s, it was 7 to 10.
Wow.
That was the average. Like,
That's wild.
Everybody had like a million children.
And I believe that's because there was no birth control
Probably.
back in those days.
Probably.
Because I think birth control, I'm not too sure, but I think it came around later. I forgot when. Because when it was first available, I believe it was only available to the wealthy. So there was, there wasn't, abstinence was the only way you weren't going to have that many kids, yeah. And I imagine more people were married back then as well. Yeah. So, but I know that's one of the reasons why is because, that wasn't available to everybody until later on. I can't remember when, but yeah. So, but you can keep going. Sorry, I interrupted that.
No, it's all right. Because I was just thinking about like average amount of kids. Like our family wasn't average. We had 4. There was
My
4.
grandma had 12.
Oh my gosh.
My daughter has 8.
I
She's gonna have 8.
She's gonna have 8. I'm average right now. I have 2.
She's above average. For our,
I know.
yeah, for our
For
birthday.
the time, yeah.
I was like, what the heck? So, and then just some other facts about like working moms. So it says 72% of moms with children over 1-year-olds work. So I'd say like 3/4 of moms who have a kid over 1, they go back to work. And then there's 55% of moms with a child under 1 go back to work, which is like wild to me. Because like I think about this guy, this chubbiness right here. He's only like 3 months, maybe I think he's 4. Gosh, I don't even know. But like I couldn't imagine like just leaving him to go work all the time.
I had to leave Jerry.
Oh.
Yeah. So thankfully I was able to take him to school, but I'd have to work. and
It's
I'd leave
different though.
him.
You were a single mom,
Yeah.
so it's different.
But I was 16.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have had to work.
You had to grow up, huh?
Oh man, that's wild.
So did you have
More
to,
on that later. Just
yeah.
kidding.
Did you have to put him in daycare first or school first?
No, well, so I guess it was kind of like a blessing because my mom wasn't working, so that's why I was working. So I got the job before the child, but
Oh, okay.
but so I was pretty much the breadwinner. But so luckily I had her there when I went back to like Cibola,
Yeah.
and then I couldn't do it, so I ended up going back to New Futures because you could take your kid. But like when I'd work, I'd leave them with my mom. But I was off for like 3 months, and then
I think people just like most of them use their maternity leave and then they go back to work. So I think that's the statistic of under.
And like I get it for like single moms, like you got to do what you got to do, you know. I'm like I'm not in that situation, so I don't have to work, which is just nice.
And I like being home, you know. I mean, I work too because I was like a teen mom, but
Having experienced both now.
Yeah, so I like being home with them. And so I even gave up school when I was younger too because I'd rather spend more time with my daughter than.
Yeah. So my mom never worked. Well, she worked when we were, I think when I was a teenager. But growing up, she was all that. But we were welfare kids. I don't know what you call them now. What do you call them now? Government? Just kidding. Government assisted living kids. I don't know.
I'd still say welfare kids. I don't
Yeah,
know.
welfare. That's what we were. Yeah. So because there was 5 of us, 5 girls. So my mom. Yeah. So like I said, once we kind of get talking into my mom played a big influence, but there was still that lack of of dad. So, but there's things, that play out in your relationships when you're brought up by a single mom, yeah, or just a mom.
Just mom. Well, even like a more controlling mom, or like a more.
I think it depends. I mean, like it depends. I mean, I used to think that my mom. There was I guess a season where I didn't think that she really cared about me, but that's just because of the situations that we were in. But like as I got older, and as I became a mom, I used to wonder how in the world did my mom raise 5 kids by herself. I was married. I got married and had my kids. And it was hard being married. I mean, I didn't have to work either. But, man, there was, like, challenges. And I thought, I don't know how she did it by herself. But she managed. But when I was younger, I didn't see that, And, there's a lot of reasons for that. But yeah. So, yeah. I don't want to go into detail. Not yet.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, because mine's different too than that of both of you guys. So
Yeah.
it's a whole nother.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole other problem. No.
Yeah.
So you raised your mom, right?
Yeah, so I raised my mom. So the biggest influence of women in my life was my auntie and my grandma, not my mom, because I was the parent in that relationship. So like your mom taught you to be strong and all this stuff, and then your mom was your mom. And so like I don't know. But I don't know. Yeah, I raised my mom. I took care of her when she was in abusive relationships and stuff. I comforted her. I was the adult growing up after she left my dad. And it's not like their relationship was good, but it was my dad, So he worked some, and then he'd drink his money away. And I think up until I was about 5 or 6, she was actually like the nurturing, loving, spend time with you mom. And then when her and my dad split up, she wanted to do her own thing. So then I became the parent. I took on the parent role around like, maybe it was like 2nd grade, because that's when they split up. So I think around 2nd grade. I don't know how old you are in 2nd grade, but that's when I took on the parent role.
7, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild.
And I think about my kids now, or I see like my nephews and nieces, and they're 7, 8. I couldn't imagine them.
I think about your daughter.
Yeah. I like still treat my 14-year-old like she's all little, like, so I don't know. Yeah. And I'm like, can you handle this on your own?
Like, let me love you.
Yeah.
And I guess one thing, I don't know if it's true for everybody, but I noticed one thing about having a single parent is I know my mom was really hard on us, but I think part of that was because she had 5 kids, and that's a lot of responsibility. So when we had responsibilities when we were very young, for me at least. I don't know how, but I feel like single moms tend to be a little bit more aggressive and more stern. Well, at least my mom was, because we had to do, like, when you were old enough to stand on a chair and reach the sink, you washed dishes. You washed. Well, I grew up washing my own clothes by hand, because we were welfare kids, so we didn't have. And back when I was growing up, that famous statement, welfare was not what it is today. Like today, you can live in a nice house, you can drive a nice car, you have food stamps, like, or EBT, I guess is what it is today. And you can live like high, like
Decently.
yeah. You're better off sometimes being on welfare today than you are having a job. It's like, well, why get a job? I get free medical care, I get food, I get housing. When we grew up, it was not like that. When we grew up, you barely made enough money to live in some shack somewhere. Like, it wasn't even like nicer. It's just livable. And you barely had enough money, I remember, like food-wise, to barely make it through the month. We were the ones that we went and stood at the cheese line. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Government cheese, government milk, government stuff like that. So, but yeah. So it was way different nowadays. If you're a single mom, you got a nice house and, like I said, a car and all that stuff, but it's not like that. Or it wasn't like that back when I was growing up. So it was a lot tougher. So, do you guys?
Well, you're just like, just kidding.
Listening to the stories.
Yeah, well, because I know my mom had a friend. She was also like grew up on welfare, and this was like maybe a few years. Well, she didn't grow up. She was raising her kids on welfare.
Yeah.
But their house was like $39 a month for like a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, nice house. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what the prices are now because I don't think I know anyone that's on that or.
I think from what I remember with us, my mom got a certain amount every month for before they came out with food stamps, because they didn't have food stamps at first. It was just they give you like a certain amount every month. And I think from what I remember, it was just a long time ago, okay, guys, but I think she would get like $200 a month. With $200 a month, you had to find a place to stay, pay for your electricity, pay for your gas, and buy food. So you had to make that stretch like for a month, and you barely made it, and there was no nice, like there was no extra, there was no housing. We didn't grow up eating like fruit or candy, or we ate cereal that had no sugar in it, and stuff like powdered milk. Yeah, I think I had powdered milk once. It was gross, but and then the bags of cereal that looked like the Sugar Smacks, but they had no sugar.
Knockoff cereals.
Yeah, knockoff, but with no sugar. So yeah, so it was way different. I think mothers today,
I think it's a little easier. For I think the moms who are willing to go jump through all the hoops that it takes to get welfare and to get all of that, because it's a lot harder. Like even like for me, like I'm not like struggling like financially, but like I still need Medicare because I can't afford like the medical bills of having a child. So it's like buying a car, a brand new car. But like even just applying for Medicare by itself was difficult. Like I wasn't covered until I was like 6 months pregnant with my first son, and the same thing with this one. Like it took 6 months just for paperwork just to go through, and so I had to kind of pay out of pocket until then, and then I had to fight with him to get them to pay back so that I could get like reimbursed for it. Like there's still stuff that it's not covered by them that I'm still paying off.
It's funny. Well, sorry. I think back then too, when I was growing up, they actually had government-run hospitals. Like it was, you had to go to a specific government-run. They don't have many more, I don't think. Not that I know of, but you had to go to a government-run hospital. So, yeah. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
Lost my train of thought.
That pregnancy brain.
Yeah, it's my pregnancy brain. Yeah. So I guess, so moms, I guess, play a role. It's just different. Like, even, for you guys, even for single moms and how they decide to raise your mom. When you're able to work, she's like, well, now you're the one responsible, because I don't know why she thought that way, but.
Well, because I was like kind of thinking, because I was like, well, she never really was. How do I put this? I guess more lenient, that, or she just didn't care about what I did, because like it was just, I don't know if it was just more easier for her not to like constantly be on me, and then but when she did, it was just like over the top.
Too much.
Yeah, like there was no I love yous, there was none of that. But like she would leave me home alone at like 7, so I can't even trust my own kid, and he's 13, like, to be home alone. So I can't imagine, like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know. So I guess it goes like one way or the other, like
either a mom or like
we're laying a foundation for what we're going to talk about later, so it's kind of
everywhere.
Where do we talk?
Yeah,
like, where do you even start?
Yeah.
Because for me, like, the way my mom mothered, I would never parent that way. And like, thank God she's not like that now. She has foster kids and she's doing it different. But like, I would have never, like, as I became a mother, I would have never. I just don't understand, I guess, like, how you could parent that way. you know, and I don't know what like she went through, and I'm like, when I hear this stuff, I'm like, it's not that bad. Like, you put us through a lot worse, you know, but why would you do that? You know?
Yeah.
So, like, for me, like, as a mom now and even having stepkids, like I don't even treat my stepkids any different than I would treat my own kids. You know what I mean? So, like, so as, like, if we lay the foundations for that, I guess, too, like, we're still trying to understand. Okay?
Yeah.
So
I
if
think
you
it's,
have,
it's like almost the same with fathers.
Yeah.
You knew what you didn't want to be
Yeah.
as a mother.
yes, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Or what you wanted to marry, you know, or whatever, or just who you want to be as a mom as you get older if your parent isn't
And
present.
then, and then your mindset's different, I think. Coming from just only having a mom. I think your mindset, I don't know. I mean, I think, like I said, as we talk, we kind of figure that out a little bit, you know, because we don't come with a planned script, you know, like, okay, you talk about the, you know, there's little things that we do, you know, we do lay out, but just the mindset, I think, is so different. But a mother's supposed to nurture. That's like her job is to nurture, to protect, I think, and
Yeah, and see that lacked, like the nurturing was good up until a certain age, and then the protection, I guess that's where it's like lost. Like you hear the definitions and what a mother should be, and it's like, well, maybe I just didn't have a mother, you know. I mean, she birthed me, you know. But
She followed that part, but that's it.
yeah, and the nurturing to a certain point, but
Yeah.
the rest is lost. So even in the Storge love of what a mother should be, that's lost, I think,
Yeah.
for a lot of even kids now, because the percentages of
Mom's going back to work. Yeah, you can't nurture if you're not able to
Yeah.
be home.
or even not even knowing how.
Not knowing how to nurture?
I don't know if I gave that example.
I will admit that blatantly. I don't know how to nurture.
I gave,
Like,
I gave that example how we were out one time talking to people in the neighborhood, and I hear these kids, they're young kids, and they're like dropping bad words left and right. I was like, oh my goodness, they're so young. They were young. They had to be 7, 8. And then mom comes out, and mom is worse. And she's talking to them like that. You know, that is not nurturing. No.
To be
That is-
cussing out your child.
Yeah, you're just, you know, that's how she talks to them, that you could tell. And I feel like that's so common that you talk to your kids like that. It's like, that's like that's no respect. That's not nurturing. You're not cultivating, because you're teaching them to talk like that. Because you're just speaking out of anger. You're just that's all you're doing when you're just using bad language. That's all you're doing, is just the anger's coming out, and you're just
it might be
filler
the
words.
generation too of the type of parents, because like even though my mom was who she was, I always had respect, even though she wasn't there. Like, I never cussed in front of her, I never did any of that stuff, you know. I still had respect for my mom, even though she was who she was. I mean, sometimes I get upset at her, and we would get into these fighting matches because other stuff we'll get into later. But like, I always had respect, but kids don't. They don't have respect for, it's an authority thing, I think, again, too.
I was gonna say, I think
Yeah.
that is the authority thing. That's part of not having a dad. And then moms, like you said, I think we're just naturally more emotional, like just biologically. Well, like, because we've looked into like the way the brain works and everything. Like, we just naturally are, like, we're just more emotional. So when we try to be authoritative, sometimes I think we're too emotional. Like you said, we say things out of anger because we're
or you,
trying.
you scream.
Yeah,
well,
we're-
even as a father, they just have to say something to a kid, but a mother has to work. It feels like twice as hard. I don't know if, like, those videos, or if you guys seen them, like the mom's like, go to bed, go to bed, go to bed, you know, and they're like screaming, and the dad comes in, and the kid just lays down without the dad having to say anything.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've experienced that
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, so it's like,
Yeah. So we don't have the same authority.
Yeah, which is so like weird.
Yeah.
But I think it's just,
We have authority,
but not the
but
same
not the
kind.
same kind of authority.
Yeah, which is totally
Yeah.
different,
Yeah. And we have influence, but a different kind
but
of
a different
influence,
kind. Yeah,
you
like I
know?
think the way it's supposed to be is like, I think kids are supposed to feel like emotionally safe
Mhm.
with their mom. Like you know, when your kid falls down, they want mom.
Yeah.
You know, when they're hurt, when they have nightmares, they want mom.
Yeah.
You know, but when they want to feel like physically or like
Safe.
taking risks and physically safe, they want dad.
Yeah.
They want to know that dad's going to catch them if they jump.
Yeah.
You know, they want to try the new ride with dad, not necessarily with mom. That's not like a, you know, whatever, but it's just, I think dads just tend to be the bigger risk takers like just physically and in their abilities and what they can do versus moms. I think we're supposed to be, like you said, that real nurturing, the soft
Yeah.
side of parenting. I think.
I mean, and it starts from birth, because if you think about it, I mean, you're probably the one that spends most of the time holding your baby and comforting your baby and waking up in the middle of the night with the baby. And you listen, I mean, when you're a mom, you can hear your kids, or even just moving, not even awake. You can.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of kids playing on a playground and kids crying. You're like, oh, that's my kid.
Yeah.
Like, I know.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you can tell what kind of cry it is too.
Yeah.
You can tell, but like they're just mad.
Yeah.
Be quiet.
Yeah.
Like they're hurt, or
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can just tell.
And that's that part of you that, you know, like protective. Because I know we tend to be way more protective. And then when you're a single mother, you're, I think, way more overprotective sometimes. Yeah. So I think it's harder for you to, because you don't have a male in your life. Yeah. You know, to let
That safety.
You feel like, no, I gotta protect you, I gotta nurture, that's my job. But then you tend to be more. So, but yeah. So I think we kind of went a little bit.
I guess we'll stop there. There's
Yeah,
lots.
I know we were
Lots.
kind of slow today, you guys, but hopefully next week we'll rev it up a little bit. And Elisa will have something to say.
I didn't say a single word.
She was just agreeing. That's right.
I think it's because it's her birthday, so you know. But we'll have some more input next week. But thank you guys for listening, and so we'll be back next week. Bye.
Thanks for listening. Join us for our next podcast. You can contact us through Instagram at podcast412 or email us at 412fight@gmail.com. See you next time.